Kaboom!
That was such a lackluster kaboom. Wake up, man. It's post. Yeah. There you go. It's the post 4th of July. It's July 6th. Yeah, well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AIB show. We're again doing things remote, but live. Amit's here at Amit's place and Dominic and Dom's. Yeah, dude. What'd you get into, by the way?
My mute.
Obviously. Fuck, this guy. Okay. How's the 4th, guy? What'd you get into, dude?
Relax all weekend. I started working out again.
No, I mean, what'd you really do, Doug? What did you actually do? Why are we making stuff up?
Started working out.
You didn't work out the entire weekend, bro.
I did.
Guy.
I did. I'm about to go right now.
You can't go right now because we're recording, so you're not doing any of that.
Let's hurry this thing up. All right, what we got first?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you, Doug. I'm seeing a bunch of stuff about Harold and Kumar, which actually was an interesting. Did you actually watch Harold and Kumar, by the way? This is where you respond. What is wrong with your internet? Yo,
you're frozen. Completely.
This is the worst.
Yeah,
your internet is extra garbage today.
You're completely frozen.
Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right.
Okay, I heard how to respond to my question.
All right, so I'm gonna start off. I have no idea what you said.
I said, have you ever seen Harold and Kumar?
Have not. We mentioned it on the show in the past. When you guys went searching for burgers.
You haven't seen Harold and Kumar ever?
No.
Just why are we moving away from the mic when you're recording for the wall?
Oh, God. I wasn't Jackass, listen. The air conditioner just turned on at the lock off. I wasn't talking while walking. There's a delay.
This guy, he makes it like we're recording for 12 hours. We're recording for a couple of minutes, and within those couple of minutes we just started, you decided to get up to turn on the air conditioning versus doing it ahead of time. But all right, continue. What do you want to talk about? First of all, you got to see Harold and Kumar. Do yourself a favor, right? It's actually, it's almost racist not to. Go watch the damn movie. All right.
Exclusionary zoning, the big EZ. It's the use of zoning ordinances to exclude certain types of land uses from a given community. So, for example, historically, many white communities have been designated as only allowing single-family homes. It promotes income segregation by creating areas of concentrated poverty and concentrated wealth, because in those communities, the home values are increasing. And for example, like industrial uses historically have been permitted in Black communities and even immigrant communities, non-Black immigrant communities, whereby, especially in the South, actually, if you think about kind of these rundown places, and even in like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, these Black neighborhoods, that's where the industrial things were. So the property values did not increase remotely close to the same way that they did in typical white communities. Another way of kind of, concentrating the poverty, like it said. In fact, a fan of the show, Loesch, his wife Yulia sent me something about and she made I'm just looking it up, made a great phrase about it in Miami, how they're trying to change the zoning in Black communities that actually have that zoning where it can only be Coconut Grove, where it can only be single family houses. They're trying to change it make it commercial and put a hotel and gentrification. Everybody thinks gentrifying is so good, and it often is bad because it's harming the actual residents there. It's going to price them out. So imagine you've lived in a neighborhood for 3-4 generations of your family, 75, 100 years, and all of a sudden you can't afford to live there even though you own your house because of property taxes and the values. So she said something very eloquent that said, politicians and people are changing to eradicate the history of these neighborhoods instead of cherishing them and building upon them. So it's kind of similar to how we talked about I don't remember which episode, where I-95 and highways in general came through many predominantly minority neighborhoods and not white neighborhoods and destroyed them, and also added to the pollution there, and displacing people. Overtown in Miami, a once thriving Black community, the Mecca of the South. We talked about Tulsa, how the 20s was this ideal community where Overtown was in essence, a renaissance place just of Black activity. I-95 came in 1961, 3 years before the Civil Rights Movement, and completely changed that. Now, you've been to that new restaurant in Overtown that everybody is into now?
Red Rooster?
Yes, see? So now Overtown
which is the transplant from New York.
Yeah, but that's at the harm of the residents there, which that'll happen again from the 60s and blah blah blah. So
okay, but that's also a Black-owned restaurant as well.
That is, but at the pricing that you're doing in that community. So it's good, but when that comes in, guess what happens next? Somebody says, "Oh," it's like Wynwood, like, "Oh, that happened there." Then something else comes, and then you have all the ones that come in. Property values go up, so it's
I mean, they built a friggin' condo building right across Red Rooster, and the condo building, it looks nice. But now it's interesting. It was a thriving area. Then, as far as I've lived in Miami up until now, it's an area that I would not live in. And then now it's an area that they're trying to. I guess it's becoming gentrified, but they're trying to revive, however you want to say it. But revival, generally speaking, independent of a lot of things, comes at the cost of the past. Revival is a lot of let's start from scratch.
And even though if it's just maybe a euphemism, revival as opposed to gentrification, I think in the utopian sense, a revival is better than a gentrification.
True, but revival, because what revival means that the same community stays there, but now the area is building up. Gentrification is new communities coming in, and normally it's new communities come in, by the way, which is the sad reality too. But yeah, that's weird. On a side note, I just saw this on the AP. Man bitten by neighbor's escaped python in toilet in Austria. Bruh.
I feel like that was enough in Australia. Australia.
No, Austria. Australia is almost like a given. Yeah. In Austria, you're not looking at your toilet before you're doing whatever, especially for a python. The man said 65-year-old victim, quote unquote, felt a nip in the genital area. You must be mad. Nip. This is a python in your toilet. Hell no, man. That's madness. Oh, man, this dude should be furious at his neighbor. That's just wrong on so many levels. But yeah, dude felt a nip is how this went down. That was so I just saw that and I thought that was ridiculous in many which ways. On another random side note, did you know Jessica Alba's got a 13-year-old daughter? I feel like Jessica Alba has just been young forever. And then there's a picture with her and her daughter, and I was like, that's insane how time has gone by.
Not sure where you're going.
Just saying, I just said it's insane how time has gone by. I literally just went there. I just said it. Said how old I am is what it's my morbidity.
Like a multi-billion-dollar skincare company. I think she just exited from it.
Yeah, she had a couple things that actually did very, very well for her in that scenario. So yeah, she was crushing it there. But she was the talk of the town for quite some time, and then not so much, and then now back again, I guess. But yeah, either way, that was just something that caught me off guard. I had no idea that she was that old. On another random note, so everything happened last week regarding college students getting the right to earn money. Yes. Everybody's been blowing up in that game. But I mean, it's crazy how many deals. Well, everybody's like, "Oh my God, they did this so quickly." No, man, these have been going in. These guys have been just ready to pull the trigger for a long time. So many deals were struck.
Clarify for the people who have no idea what you're talking about. So July 1st.
So the NCAA, July 1st, and the NCAA allowed student athletes to benefit to profit off of their image and likeness. i.e., so, and this all came about because one, I forgot where the guy played ball. I want to say it was UCLA. This guy played football. He saw himself in NCAA.
Ed O'Bannon, basketball, UCLA.
Basketball, sorry, there you go. So he saw himself in the NCAA basketball game and thought it was kind of cool, but then he was like, hold up, I'm not getting paid for this. And then he started following suit. He was one of the pioneers of kind of changing the way this is, because he wasn't getting paid for any of this stuff. And this was a thing that was going on for a hot minute. And anyway, he started following suit to his benefit and caused a lot of these things to kind of get in motion. Anyway, the kids now can benefit off their likeness and their image. So now the NCAA, by the way, is coming back out with the game. So now the kids will find there'll be some profit sharing, I assume, for them to come back out with this. But a bunch of kids went in and created. They got a bunch of deals. Like immediately signed in with like your local car dealership. Some of them may even created their own stores online, so they can sell apparel with their name and stuff on there. And now they can go out and they'll sell autographs, all kind of stuff like that. You know, so it's and then one of the claims in general about all of this, which is everybody again, obviously people are fighting against this, is, well, this is going to tarnish the team sport aspect, which they can go to hell with that one. But the other part of that too, which is weird, is that they're like, this is going to ruin the team culture, as if to say in other sports where there is dollars. And now again, it's to say that everybody's currently equal on the team, and they're not. Some players are better than others and they get treated better independent of financially. You're not getting treated the same as the star quarterback if you are fifth string, whatever. Like, let's be real. So this is literally the same thing. You are not going to make the money that person is making either, because nobody cares about your jerseys much until you become good. This is just the reality of the world. So this is capitalism at its greatest, not greatest. This is capitalism, which is also why it got a lot of Republican support, because it claims it's quote unquote capitalistic. So it's a very interesting dynamic how that went out.
No, but so a few things. Ed O'Bannon, we mentioned, because of his lawsuit, the NCAA games stopped years ago, like video games,
correct,
college games. It's coming back. But De'Aaron King, who's the star quarterback for the University of Miami, go Canes, he has been at the forefront of this. He created a company with Florida State's quarterback to actually do NFTs and promote events for these athletes, college athletes and stuff. And he signed a couple of deals, and he's now pushing for UM to have events where the entire team would benefit, meaning even if he gets, they kind of spread it out. So to help some of the players who, you know, based on the rules, the players can't get jobs. So you could be in college and still you could be now you can get paid.
Now,
but
not get paid, but you can't have a job.
I kind of like this better than a job.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
But still, what if you're not a big name player? No one wants your name, image, or likeness. That's what sucks. You should be able to get a job. So there are actually athletes who they're getting free meals, so to say, quote unquote, and stuff, but they can't afford to go buy clothes or go get other food, and they actually want to work, and they're being prevented from being allowed to work. So it's wild, but this is great. I love it.
Prevented from working, not prevented from being allowed to work. You said it wrong. They're not prevented from being allowed to work. They're prevented from working because they're not being allowed to work. So they're by default, they're prevented from being allowed to work.
Prevented from
being allowed to work is a double negative.
Yeah. Screw you. Well, I don't know what the hell I was going to say.
And we're back. All right. Now we're over.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even know what you said after that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Sports Illustrated had a really messed up cover where they put a bunch of UM players on it. And for their numbers, they put their jersey numbers, they put $signs. And then for their names, they just put mine, which I thought was really messed up, because subconsciously it reinforces beliefs who think these college athletes are spoiled and should get this. And then it also kind of convinces others who didn't think this way to think like that. And this is an amazing thing. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that these schools.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who is still on the other side of it, i.e., people saying that they got enough for, in essence, imagine this, right? You pay, and we're probably beating a dead horse here because I assume many people listening to this, by that I mean the two who are probably aligned with our thought process. So there's no need to beat the dead horse with this. But simply put, for those who aren't, if I played football and I got a scholarship to the school and I blew my knee out, right? And I got a scholarship to the school, let's be real, my academics were never the priority. And they may claim that they are, but they're not, because you're putting in so many hours into football. The academics, you have to get tutors, et cetera, to kind of just keep up with class. So people who are, there's some athletes, and there's always outliers, by the way, but there's some athletes who graduated as Rhodes Scholars and stuff like that. Those people are friggin' geniuses. Like, props to them on every which way, because to be able to juggle the schedule and everything else when you're traveling the road, and you best believe, like, even right now, right? So Miami's first game is Alabama. This is all that's getting drilled in these kids' heads from ever, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all they're thinking about. Everything else is in the back burner completely, right? Everything. So for you to go and say, well, you're getting the education, you're not. The education is not the focus. Now, if they were to say, hey, after you graduate, after whatever else, there's you can come back and finish your degree, do whatever you want. There's ways to benefit from it, worst case scenario, but you're in essence putting yourself on the line for a very limited, what's the percentage that makes it NFL? Under 5? Something like that?
It's under like 1/10%. It's
there you go.
Like 100%, if that.
Okay. So then the great majority, in essence, will
plus we talked about this. The value of a college education is significantly less now than it was long ago. Significantly less.
Agreed.
So again, this devalues the kind of benefit proposition to be able to go to college and do this.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, these kids are going to start making some money. Derek King, day one, night one. This is like literally 12:01 or whatever. Had 2 deals for $20K. As Amit mentioned, he started the business with the Florida State QB as well. So they'll do some stuff there. And then he's got some other deals in the works as well. Another person, there's whatchamacallit. Bubba got his thing as well. There's a dude, the quarterback from Wisconsin. He even showed off his logo before this all went down. So he's selling apparel and stuff. And Derek King has got his online site, derekking.shop, where he's selling apparel too. So everybody's got stuff. And obviously they ain't got my size or nothing, man. So all they got is medium. Hey, some of us just ate mediums, man. I need a medium in this place. They ain't got nothing.
You have a medium?
No, bro. I was looking. I went online. I was going to support the cause and no medium. So I was like, F this, man. You get nothing from me. Beyond my general support and love for the team.
Kids sizes for you or anything?
One more time.
They don't have kids sizes for you?
No, they didn't have for the youth. No, I was looking for that. I buy kids large. That probably still wouldn't fit me. I'd buy it. Hey, don't knock that. I'd buy it. But either way, so that's something that's kind of cool that's finally come to pass. It's been talked about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And the NCAA still fought it. And finally, the Supreme Court went along with this, finally, because again, this was going on forever. Like, I've literally been hearing this since I've been following football. So for me, it's 20 from college football. So for me, it's 20 years, right? And that means it's been going on for long before that because I was blatantly ignorant prior to that.
It's going to be huge in big name cities and big name schools.
Well, so this is the other thing, right? So the other part of this too, which is one of the reasons why they were fighting against it, is because the idea now is that recruiting sways towards major cities. So it's kind of like, playing basketball, playing for the Lakers versus playing for Milwaukee. So it's that kind of dynamic. Now, on the flip side, if you are the only major player in that small town, you get all the car dealerships. You can make a good amount of money, one would assume.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're like Alabama, you have they're still going to do well. But cities like we're going to get the boost are Miami.
Yeah.
USC, UCLA, big things in Texas. Like they're going to get major boosts.
Yep.
Because you get national recognition in those markets. You're not just in those markets because you're in a big city. You get national recognition.
But the other part of that too now is it also becomes much like the regular NFL, where now kids will probably or should. So now they're having management companies, by the way, which is a key thing. So now there's management companies managing these kids from now, right? Which is because you can't have an agent, but you can have a manager. Am I correct in that one, Dominic?
No clue.
because there are management companies who are taking on these kids. That's how they're learning about these various things, because they wouldn't have access to, John Doe's auto, whatever. So they're kind of going through that dynamic. So that's one thing that's happening right now. So management companies are kind of making sure that's a thing, which is great. Then on the flip side, you have, so you got management companies pushing that. And then now you also have, what was I going to say? Good Lord, I drew a complete blank here. Damn it. I was thinking you can't have agents, you have management companies trying to help you out with this dynamic, which is building a whole new business altogether, right? Like all this stuff is just, I mean, there's cash flowing in a very positive way for all these communities overall. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because there will be some infighting, because there's always infighting. So we'll see how this kind of pans out. But again, this took forever to get done. And it's one of the things that everybody assumed was pretty common sense, but wasn't.
It's interesting because I don't know if it was last episode 31 or episode 30, we talked about the high school athletes, who are, especially the basketball players, who are getting their dues. So it's interesting to see what's going on here. The value of the education going down, and the players getting what they deserve.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it was now. This is, and that's what I was gonna say. This is. People may say that, this is a crazy thing, we shouldn't do it, or whatever. This is actually very in line with the Olympics. It's the same kind of dynamic where they can benefit from name and likeness and so on, but they have to be, this is how they can get additional dollars and cents, right? It's sponsorship deals and stuff like this. It's not, direct payments, if you will. So that's kind of how this dynamic is trying to work out the same way. So this is not uncharted territory. It's always been the same. Their teams, they're Olympic teams forever, all this kind of stuff, and they are. So all these things are not things that are, as people would like you to believe, if they are on the opposite side, that are, going to end college athletes as we know it. Quite the contrary, probably. But so that's that. So there's college athletes. On a side note, did you watch the Fast and Furious? Because I know we talked about it last week or week before.
We talked about it on IG Live every Friday. As a reminder, IGTV. Check it out. We put it on Facebook as well. I think we're gonna start putting it on YouTube. And I know, by the way, keep what you have in your head. We talked for weeks, if not months, about, hey, these videos will be on YouTube, and I'm sure a few of you checked it out and they never were. Well, Amit's had them up there now for weeks now. Everything is now going, old ones, new ones are going on YouTube. So this time we are telling the truth. Go to AABShow.com.
This you didn't do your job. Don't put this on me, man.
I said we are telling the truth. I said Amit put them on. What's wrong? What's factually incorrect about that?
No. I'm with you. I said, although I didn't say it, you said it. So you were lying, and now you're telling the truth.
Go to theaibshow.com. Check out the content there, and you can also find the YouTube link there and all our other social media links. Amit mentioned Fast and the Furious. We talked about that on our Friday freestyle, which we do every Friday. Actually, except for this past Friday, we had technical difficulties.
I was about to say that when you told me. I was like, it's kind of lying again, but all right.
Every other Friday, trust me. Every Friday we put it on. It's not on whatever podcast platform you listen to. It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook, so check it out. Links are all at theaibshow.com. All right, go on.
No, I'm just saying that they're creating more spinoffs for this damn thing. So apparently Charlize Theron is getting her own spinoff now. So she's got a character named Cypher who's in the last two. So now she's getting her own spinoff for this. The Rock and Statham already got their spinoff for it. And so they won't let this thing die. But what was interesting in the title or in the article that I read, it goes with Vin Diesel's blessing. Because apparently Vin Diesel covers all this, and because him and The Rock got in a spat because of this.
Hate Vin Diesel a lot, man.
He's just, okay, man. Dude is king of mediocrity, period. Name me one product, and even these films, like, bruv, I don't know if you've seen the last one, but man, is it bad. It is that bad. And it's funny because, I mean, yeah, it's just bad. It's really, really bad. But again, like I said, I'm still gonna watch the rest. I'm locked in now. I have no choice but to see how it plays out. But it was bad. But I did see Tomorrow War, and Tomorrow War is the one on Amazon that came out this past Friday, which is Chris Pratt and a bunch of the people. And the first big fight sequence happens in Miami, and I mean, tech that ain't really Miami, but they had a couple cool shots that were Miami. It's Atlanta. But they had a couple shots that were Miami, like the Freedom Tower downtown. So they did some things that were like, okay, that's Miami, and then all the tight shots were not. But entertaining, you know, nothing amazing, but definitely entertaining. It's, you know, if you have the Amazon, you might as well watch it. And it's got Homegirl from Chuck. I don't know if you remember that show. You never saw Chuck?
No.
That was one of the mediocre shows on NBC that was actually interesting enough where I watched quite a bit of it. But either way, that's here. I digress. We move on.
All right.
What else you got?
Justice
That's what you got.
Be better.
It's been real, everybody.
So
you got. We're done. Right?
As always, appreciate the support. We get feedback, so thank you. We got some feedback, a lot of feedback last week, actually, of some good and bad. Please let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. If you disagree with us or agree with us, we post all the stuff on Facebook and Instagram. So feel free. We appreciate the interaction. Let us know. Thoughts, ideas.
And just so you know, we just had our max viewership 2 on our live stream. Now it's back down to 1. But for a second there, we were at 2. We're growing, man. Double last week. It's growing. That's double the growth, everybody. Just so you guys know. We're huge.
And especially because we've been battling Apple a lot in terms of these issues we'd have with them. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please take the time, 30 seconds. Just give a rating and a quick little tips, little review, and help us out, because I don't know what the hell's going on with Apple. Still some issues. Appreciate it. Be better. This is a reward.
Much love, everybody. Take it easy.
Cool.